Hey guys, let's knock out this awesome review for test number 10. Double digits, first test in double digits. Years flying. Number one, find the reference angle for each of the given angle. Remember, it's got to be positive, it's got to be acute. And it's really just asking you how many degrees is it away from, or radians it is away from the x-axis. 225 is 45 degrees past the 180, so it's just 45 degrees. Negative 199 is 19 degrees past negative 180, so it's 19 degrees. And remember with the radians, you drop the top as long as it's a power 3 or power 4 or power 6. And there's that, number one. Number two, find the exact value. This was the funnest, most fun thing we did all week. All right, cosine 210. First of all, let's find the reference angle. The reference angle is actually 30 degrees because it's 30 degrees past 180. In radians, 30 degrees is power 6. And cosine power 6 is square root of 3 over 2. So there's the value. Now, last step, think about what quadrant we are in. 210 is 30 past 180, so it's in quadrant 3. And cosine is the x. X is negative in quadrant 3, so that's a negative answer. Part B, again, find the reference angle, which is just drop the top, power 3. The value of sine at power 3 is also square root of 3 over 2. Now go back and look at what quadrant we're in. 7 pi over 3 is really 2 1/3 pi. Think about that. So 2 pi means you're going all the way around the circle, going all the way around. And then the 1/3 means you're going up about right there. So we're back in quadrant 1. Everything's positive in quadrant 1. So there you go. And then part C, secant 300. Now, we don't do secant. Remember, secant's reciprocal of cosine. So I'm actually going to do cosine of the reference angle. 300 is 60 away from 360, so the reference angle is 60. 60 degrees is really power 3. Cosine power 3, the value is 1/2. And then, but that's cosine. We need secant. Okay, so I'm going to do reciprocal. Reciprocal is 2. And I got to think about the quadrant. 300 degrees is absolutely in quadrant 4 because it's almost back to 360. And cosine is x. X is positive in quadrant 4. So there's my answer. And the last one of these, cosine negative 5 power 3. The reference angle is power 3. Cosine and power 3 is my favorite, is 1/2. Now, I got to find out what quadrant we're in. Negative 5 power 3 is really negative 1 2/3 pi. So if I go negative pi, I'll go this far. If I go 2/3 of another one, that puts me here. So I'm really in quadrant 1. And everything in quadrant 1, positive. All right, number 3 is actually a review question from last week. It says find the length of an arc. The subtends the central angle 45 degrees and the circle radius 12. This is our formula right here. This formula only works for radians. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm changing 45 degrees to radians, which we've been doing up top of there. So like 45 degrees changing into radians is you just divide it by 180 and put a pi with it. That's going to reduce down to 1/4 pi or pi over 4. So that's my theta. Theta is pi over 4. S is what I'm looking for. S is the arc length. The radius is 12. And I'm just solving for S here. Okay, so I'm cross multiplying. That's 12 pi. Cross multiplying, that's 4S. So I'm divide by 4, which gives me 3 pi. You can leave your answer like that, or you can punch it in your calculator and get a decimal answer. I'm good either way. Number 4, find the exact values. Okay, so I got a 7. 8's the hypotenuse, so I need the third side. So what I know is 7 squared plus, I'm going to put b right here, plus b squared is 8 squared, which is 64. Move the 49 over, that's 15. So b is going to be the square root of 15. So that's that over there is square root of 15. So here we go. Look what theta is. Sine theta. Sine is 7 opposite over hypotenuse, which means cosecant theta is reciprocal of that. Cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is square root of 15 over 8. And then secant theta is reciprocal of that, so I'll do 8 over square root of 15. Obviously fix that number, rationalize your denominator. Tangent, remember tangent. Tangent is really sine over cosine, or opposite over adjacent, whichever way you want to go. You're going to get 7 over the square root of 15. Fix that fraction like that. And then cotangent. Cotangent is reciprocal of tangent. Flip the easy part. I'm going to flip this part right there, so I'm going to put in square root of 15 over 7. And there you have it. Number 5 says and 6. Solve the triangle means you got to find everything that's missing here. So first thing I know is just by looking at it, this angle right here has got to be 38 degrees because all three angles have to be 180. Now I need to find I'm going to put H on that side for our hypotenuse and just put an X right there just because. And guys, there's so many ways you can do this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go tangent of 52 is opposite over adjacent. And that's how I'm going to find my side X. All right, so to work that out, I'm just going to multiply 35 times tangent 52. Please make sure your calculator is in degree mode. Obviously, if it's in radian mode, you get the wrong answer. So my X, that side of the triangle is like 40. We'll go one decimal place, 44.8. And then to get the hypotenuse side, I'm going to use the same angle, the same 52. I'm going to go cosine 52 is adjacent over hypotenuse. And because my H is in my denominator, I'm going to divide 35 divided by cosine 52. And I'm getting 56.8. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm assuming that's it. So there's all three sides. Do the same thing again here. Oh, we got one in radians now. I'm going to give you one in radians tomorrow. I want your answer in radians in the angle. Okay, so here's what I know. That angle right there is 90, which means the other two angles add up to be 90. Now, 90 in radians is pi over 2. So to find out what's missing here, I'm going to do pi over 2 minus 3 pi over 8. Now, I don't know the answer in my head, but we'll go anyway. So pi over 2 is really 4 pi over 8 minus 3 pi over 8, which is 1 pi over 8. And guys, that goes right there. So there's the missing angle, pi over 8. Now, turn your calculator to radian mode. I'm going to find side X and find Y. I'm going to use the 3 pi over 8. So I'm going to say sine of 3 pi over 8 is opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm going to punch that in, 42.5 times sine of 3 pi over 8. And make sure you're in radian mode. You can hear me doing. I'm actually just putting stuff in as I go. Hit enter right there. I'm getting 39.3. So this side right here is 39.3. And then to find the side Y, I'm doing the same thing, except I'm going cosine, because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So I'm going to punch that in and see what I get for the other side. And I'm getting 16.3 right there. All right, so, and that makes sense because the smallest side's opposite the smallest angle and all that kind of stuff. All right, number 7 and 8, sketch a triangle. Acute angle theta has the other find the other 5 trig ratios and one they gave me. So this is review from last week, and says sine theta is 817, so I'm going to draw that triangle. It's up to you where you put your theta. I'm putting mine right there. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Now, I gave you some famous ones last week. 8 something, 17 is famous. It's 15, which is a big deal. So here's what I know. I already knew cosecant was the reciprocal of that. That's supposed to say 17 over 8. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, which would be 15 over 17, which means secant is reciprocal, 17 over 15. Tangent, you can either do sine over cosine or opposite over adjacent and get 8/15, which means cotangent is 15 over 8. Number 8, cotangent square root of 3. One thing I know is that tangent is 1 over the square root of 3, which means it's square root of 3 over 3, which means it's one of our famous numbers. So when I draw the triangle here, I'm going to put theta here. Tangent's opposite over adjacent, so I'm going to go opposite over adjacent. So I need to find the third side. I'm going to do Pythagorean theorem in my head. 1 squared plus square root of 3 squared, that's 4 squared, that's 2. All right, so let's see here. Sine theta, sine is opposite over adjacent. Cosecant is reciprocal of that. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is that. And then secant is reciprocal of the cosine, which is 2 over square root of 3, so you get 2 on 3 over 3. All right, number 9. Oh, blast from the past big time. Got all kinds of negative exponents. This is awesome. I'm going to do this first. All kinds of ways you can go here, but I'm going to do that -3 through the top. So I'm going to get r -3, s 12, r squared, s squared, squared. Your option what to do now. I'm going to go ahead and move stuff inside. So that r to the -3 is coming down, which right now there's already 2 r's down there. Now there's 5 r's down there. Look at the s's, the bigger s's on the top. It's 10 bigger, and all that's squared. When I square the stuff inside, you multiply the exponents, you get s to the 20th, r to the 10th. And there you have it for that whole slide. All right, number 10, determine if it's 1 to 1. The best way to do that is to graph it. You can do it on your calculator. You should know that's an x cubed with a plus 3. The plus 3 moves it up 3. And you have half are probably going up, half going down. Does that pass the horizontal line test? Yes, it does. So it's a yep. Inverse. I'll put this on here. A lot of you still missed this last week, so I'm going to go with one more time here. Let's put the x, switch the x and the y's. Just like that. Now, I'm going to cross multiply because I'm trying to solve for y. So multiply that way. xy plus 2x. Multiply 1 times that side. And now I'm going to get the y's together. So I'm going to take that y and that 2x and just switch sides. So I have xy minus y and a negative 2x minus 2. If there is a trick to the thing, here it is. I need to get those 2 y's down to 1 y. So I'm going to factor out the y. It leaves that right there. And then to get the y by itself, which, by the way, I'm going to translate into that, I'm just going to divide both sides by the x minus 1. So I get negative 2x minus 2 over x minus 1, because it was y times the parentheses. So there you have it. Number 12, terminals for increasing, decreasing. Remember, when you do these, use the x coordinates only. X coordinates, please listen to that. X coordinates, no y's here. Okay, it's increasing right there. That's between negative 2 and negative 1. And you can use parentheses on all these except for where it ends. It's also increasing right there, which is from 1 to 2. That's all the increasing. It's decreasing there to there, from negative 3 to negative 2. Also decreasing there to there, which is from negative 1 to positive 1. And also decreasing there, which is from 2 to 3, I think. Yeah, that's it. Use x's. Again, use x coordinates. All right, last two. Solve this one. This is where, because the first exponent is twice as big as the second, we're going to use u. Don't forget we use u. And u is always, my marker just went out. And u is always the middle variable. So u is x cubed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a u everywhere I see an x. And because the first exponent is twice as big, my first u is going to be u squared. That's going to be 4u. And I'm just going to factor this. Okay, so I get u minus 6, u plus 2, which means my two answers for u are 6 and negative 2. And I'm going to say something right here. Remember what we always like to say? Nobody cares about you. Okay, I need x. So I'm going to take the x cubed and plug it back in. So it means if u is 6, that means x cubed is 6. X cubed is also negative 2. All right, now to solve these, I'm going to take the cube root of each side. All right, which gives me the cube root of 6 and also leaves me the cube root of negative 2. And because it's a cube root, the negative 2 is okay. If it had been an even root, I couldn't do it, but because it's a cube root, that's a perfectly fine answer, negative 2. And the last one, our favorite problem of all. Let's factor out the GCF, factor out a 2. That leaves 8x cubed minus 1. And they're both cubes, so you know where I'm going. Small, big, cube root, square, multiply, change the sign, square. There you have it. Don't drop the 2. Leave the 2 there. Biggest mistake is people drop that 2 all the time. All right, hope that helps. Hope you do great tomorrow. And we'll see you then.